The first time I heard about the house by the dying river, it was told to me in a voice so calm, so disturbingly calm, that I did not understand I was being guided towards something that would not let me sleep again. It was late monsoon. The sky hung low and swollen, heavy with unshed rain. The air smelled of wet soil, damp wood, and something faintly rotten drifting from the riverbank. I had returned to my ancestral village after years in the city. I told everyone I needed rest, silence, a pause from the metallic noise of urban life. But the truth was far less peaceful. For months I had been dreaming of a corridor, long, narrow, endless. At the far end stood a single closed door. I never reached it. I never saw what was inside. I would wake just before my hand touched the knob, heart hammering, throat dry, the echo of a faint humming sound still trapped inside my ears. The village had barely changed. The pond was choked with weeds. The bamboo groves leaned too close together, as though conspiring. The river behind our land had thinned into something skeletal and tired. And across that river, on slightly raised ground, stood a house that no one spoke of directly. It was not ruined, its walls stood firm, its windows were intact, its courtyard was swept clean, and that made it worse. My uncle mentioned it only once. We were sitting under a dim yellow bulb on the veranda. Moths circled lazily. Beyond the mango tree, darkness thickened like spilled ink. He said without looking at me, "Some houses remember." That was all. He did not smile, he did not explain. He simply chewed his betel leaf and stared into the dark, as if expecting something to stare back. The house had once belonged to a schoolteacher named Haroun, a quiet widower, polite, soft-spoken. He lived alone, spent evenings reading on his veranda, walked along the river every morning with a bamboo cane. People said he talked to himself, but loneliness often needs a voice. One winter, Haroun stopped coming to school. Two boys were sent to fetch him. They returned pale, trembling, unable to finish their sentences. The door had been slightly open. They called his name. No answer. Inside, the house was neat, perfectly arranged. On the table sat a cup of tea, half full, a thin layer of dust floating on its surface. Haroun was never seen again. No signs of struggle, no blood, no broken furniture. It was as if he had been erased mid-breath. Some said the river took him. Some said he ran away. The elders said, "Do not speculate." But the house remained, silent, patient, waiting. On my third night back in the village, I stood by my bedroom window. The moon was enormous, colorless, swollen like a blind eye in the sky. And across the river, in the upper window of Haroun's house, I saw a light, not flickering like a lantern, not moving like fire, a steady yellow glow. I blinked. It remained. I rubbed my eyes. Still there. The electricity line to that house had been cut years ago. I confirmed this the next morning. My uncle's fingers tightened around his cup when I mentioned the light. "It has no power connection," he said quietly. He left the tea unfinished. That night I kept my window open. Midnight passed. The river whispered faintly against its broken banks. Then, slowly, the light appeared again, and this time a shadow crossed it, tall, elongated, moving back and forth. Back and forth, as if someone were pacing. My throat went dry. I told myself it was imagination, moonlight, a trick of angles. The next day at noon, when sunlight is harsh enough to destroy illusions, I crossed the narrow bamboo bridge. The house looked smaller up close, the paint peeled in thin strips. The wooden door bore scratch marks, thin, parallel, not deep enough for tools, too deliberate for accident. I pushed the door open. The air inside was unnaturally cool. It smelled of old paper, stale air, and something metallic beneath it all. The furniture was arranged neatly. A clock hung on the wall. Its hands were frozen at 3:17. Not ticking, not broken, just stopped. I called out, "Is anyone here?" My voice felt absorbed by the walls. Then, from upstairs, a soft thud. Not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakable. Weight shifting, breathing adjusting, presence. I climbed the staircase. Each step groaned, stretching the silence thinner and thinner. At the end of the corridor stood a closed door. My chest tightened. The wood near the handle was worn. From the inside, as if someone had turned it again and again, desperately. The metal knob felt ice cold, colder than it should have been. I pressed it down. The door creaked open. The room was empty. Bare walls, no furniture. Only a single bulb hanging from a wire. And it was glowing, faint, yellow, humming, a low electrical vibration that seemed to crawl inside my skull. I stepped in. The door closed behind me, not slammed, not violently, just closed, a soft click. I turned, the handle would not move. I twisted harder, nothing. The humming grew louder. The air felt heavier, thicker, pressing against my lungs. Then I saw the wall. At first it was blank. Then, slowly, the paint began to darken, letters forming from beneath the surface, as if the wall were bruising from within. I did not leave. I am still here. The words stretched across the wall, fresh, wet-looking, breathing. A chair appeared behind me. I swear it had not been there before. It faced the wall, directly beneath the words. Then, a voice right behind my ear, soft, measured, almost gentle. "Do you see now?" I could not move. "He thought the river would take him," the voice whispered. Cold breath grazed my neck. But the house remembered. My mind flooded with images. Harun pacing, pulling at the door, scratching at the wood until his nails tore, whispering prayers, watching the clock freeze at 3:17. He tried to leave. The bulb flickered once, twice. The humming became deafening. This house does not forget those who listen. Suddenly, the handle turned easily. The door swung open. The corridor looked normal. Sunlight spilled through the window. The humming stopped. The room was empty. No words, no chair, nothing. I ran. I did not look back. That night I lay in bed convincing myself it had been hysteria, suggestion, a mind infected by village superstition. Sleep eventually came. In my dream, I stood in the corridor again. The door was open. Inside, the bulb glowed steadily. The words had changed. "You heard me?" I woke choking. The room was dark. The storm had cut electricity hours ago. I remembered clearly. Yet, from somewhere just outside my bedroom came a faint hum, low, steady, electric. My bedroom door was closed. Beneath it stretched a thin line of yellow light. Unwavering, impossible. The hum grew louder, louder, vibrating through the floorboards. Then, three soft knocks, not urgent, not violent, just patient, waiting. My breath caught in my throat. The knocks came again, and then a whisper from the other side, not entirely male, not entirely human, so close it felt like it was inside my head. Some houses remember. The light flickered once, twice, then remained steady, and the handle slowly, very slowly, began to turn